on Ramadan Radio Wolves or Wolverhampton on 87.9. We're also live streaming on Facebook and Twitter. I think it's YouTube as well. The phone numbers are 07 440 420 432 for the text. And the studio number, if you want to get involved and ring in and have a conversation, have a chat with me and my guest, the number is 01902 972 150. Let me just repeat those numbers again. The WhatsApp text is 07 440 420 432, and the phone number is 01902 972 150. I'm Zahid Shah. This is Drive Time with Zahid Shah, and my special guest and one of my dear friends, Tariq Ali from Wolverhampton. Tariq, I've known him for about 20 years, and you know, I've lost all my hair. He still hasn't aged. I will pass it over to him in a bit, so he can introduce himself a bit more than what I'm going to say. But I think I've known Tariq for a long time. He's been a very keen and admiring cricketer. He's been ever since I've known him. He's always been a captain of a cricket club, and I think he's probably got the record in probably in the world. I think he's been captain at Wolverhampton Cricket Club for one of the sides there for nearly, I think it's 24 years. Tariq's also an ambassador for the South Asian Pakistani community. He does a lot of wonderful work. He does charity work. He's been working in the COVID clinic at Bilal Mosque. He's also been working with Staffordshire Cricket and supporting them. He's also been a great advisor to myself and other South Asians around cricketing issues and also worldly issues. And I'm just going to pass you over. Tariq, do you want to add any more to that?
Assalamu alaikum. Not really, mate. You've ticked a lot of boxes there. You're all right. I am a busy man, and I have a lot of hats or a lot of caps I wear. You mentioned most of them. I'm also a league welfare officer as well as a club welfare officer. Obviously, I'm full-time husband, dad, granddad, and I work full-time as well. So it's a lot of things to squeeze in.
Yeah, it is, and I'm, as you know, I'm very passionate about the cricket, and the record of 24 years of being captain straight. That's amazing.
Yeah, I just have to correct you. It's not at one club; it's actually over two clubs. So it's about 7-8 years at a club over Walsall Way.
Yeah,
and then ever since then, I've been captain at Wolverhampton for one of the sides.
How long's that now?
It's my 24th season this year.
Yeah, how long have you been captain at Wolves?
15, 16 years.
That's got to be a record at the club. I don't think anybody's been captain for 15 years straight at that club ever.
Possibly. I mean, it's a thankless task, to be fair, being captain. You're never going to keep people happy all the time. You know, they do say you can keep some of the people happy some of the time, but you can't keep all of the people happy all of the time. And it's probably outright when you're captain for various reasons, as you know. But something I enjoy doing, I'm very passionate about. I think I'm a good role model to others around me, and while I'm fit and healthy, thank God, I will continue.
I agree with that. I think you're a wonderful role model. I think you've been around the game a long time, and I think some of the young South Asian cricketers from the Pakistani community who are probably listening to this, we've probably got other youngsters from other communities listening as well, because I know we have a massive following from Ford Houses Cricket Club, a big one to Ford Houses Cricket Club. They're always listening. I bet Mr. Salter's on the is on the radio having a listen to what we're saying. Give us a thumbs up, guys, when you get a chance. I really, like I said, like I was saying, Wolverhampton Cricket Club. Tell me about Wolverhampton Cricket Club, because growing up in Wolverhampton, Wolverhampton Cricket Club was regarded as a very upper to middle class, snotty, white person's cricket club, and I think that's changed, hasn't it?
Oh, that's changed dramatically.
Tariq, can you get near the mic? Because, or is it because you're absolutely shattered after fasting? Is that what it is?
You are right. It used to be. It's not like that. Like yourself, you've been playing cricket for a very long time. I remember when we first started playing, many years ago, you'd be lucky if you seen another Asian, and if you did, it was all about where you're from, how you're doing. There's not many around, and I'd like to say we'd probably pave the way for a lot of cricketers to come into the game and changed a lot of things for allowing South Asian cricketers to express themselves and play and be able to join clubs no matter how good or posh they are. Wolverhampton, when I first came, it was a bit difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a challenge, and there's still certain elements who got the own.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
I don't want you to go into too much detail because obviously we need to be politically correct. But what kind of challenges are you talking about?
Fitting in.
Yeah.
Just being allowed to take certain roles in the club, being able to express yourself as a person. There's so much you can bring to the table, just allowing the opportunity to be able to be seen to do that. Generally, I wouldn't say it was a closed shop, but they probably may have had enough from the BAME community people that were willing to do that or take that extra work on or do a bit extra or go a bit extra mile to help support the club. And I like to think that's where I probably rolled my sleeves up and thought, you know what, it's better to be on the inside and try and change it rather than looking from the outside in and say, it doesn't suit me or it's not interested. And I like to say I've changed a lot of mentality, a lot of ways of people thinking because they see Asian people, they are capable of doing things, they are capable of taking responsibility, they can take certain roles in the club. I'm a committee member there, I'm a club captain there. It's a lot of responsibility. It's probably one of the biggest clubs in the Midlands. We currently have 5 senior sides, 7 junior sides, 2 disability sides and 2 ladies sides. So there's a lot of cricket played at Wolverhampton. And, it doesn't run itself. It takes a lot of organisation. We've got a large committee, which I'm proud to be part of. And my opinion is valued. And I think I like to think that I've changed a lot of ideas around that table. And moving forward now, whether you're Asian, non-Asian, white, English, everyone's welcome at the club. And ever since I've been there, I've not seen too many issues where, you're not being able to play because you're the wrong colour, and even if it has, it's been picked up very quickly.
Yeah, you're right. And, I've had conversations with a very fine gentleman from the club, Mike Smith. And I think you and Mike work very closely together, don't you?
Yes, we do, yes.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, but the thing is I think you as a representative for the South Asian community, I think they're going to struggle to replace you. Because it's not just about being, getting somebody, it's about the commitment as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you touched on something earlier, that being part of the Staffordshire committee. So what we do, we actually run the league. So we've got 91 clubs in the league that we organise, play, arrange, everything that we manage. And I'm part of that committee as well. And it's probably about 16, 17 years ago. One of the committee members actually approached me.
Has it been that long?
Oh yeah, comfortably. Approached me and says, look, we have a lot of issues with South Asian cricketers without picking on anybody. You've been around the game for a long time. Any side you've been involved with or anything that you're involved with, we always get positive feedback. It's always good. We've never had an Asian on the committee. Would you be interested? And, I came onto the committee and now I'm a welfare officer for the league. I run the under-19s for the team. I'm the league representative for the Staffordshire versus other counties. So I'm the league manager for them team. So there's quite a few roles that I do take up for Staffordshire. And alhamdulillah, they are quite pleased with what I do and satisfied. And again, it's the first Asian coming to the table, and the only experience they're going to have about Asian is good experience because of things we're doing, the things I'm involved with, the responsibility I'm taking. It's only a good thing. It's just a shame there's not more of us that can take that responsibility and willing to do a bit more. But each to their own.
Yeah, but you're one of the fortunate ones, working with, a prestigious club like Wolverhampton. It's not easy to get into those kind of clubs and get into positions. You've obviously had to work a lot harder than what you're saying. Just touching on your cricket, we're both playing. We're both in our 50s now. We're both performing. And I can't talk about myself, but what keeps you going? What's the motivation?
Obviously, you've got to have the passion for the game. If you haven't got the passion,
I've got to stop you there. Somebody's just texting. I don't know who it is, and they said, Can you ask Tariq who his favourite child is? Oh, you must know who that is. Who is it?
I'm guessing, but I'm going to stay neutral.
Okay, Tariq said he's neutral. Sorry, can you carry on answering that question? What's the motivation?
So obviously you've got to have some passion. Involved in the game for a very, very long time, 35 plus years. I had a lot of friends similar to my age who stopped playing around about 40, took up other things in life, married, children, work kept them busy, but I sort of kept on going, kept myself fit. And because I've moved on to the coaching side and doing a lot of stuff for Staffordshire and even a bit of work for the ECB through City Cup, and I'm always recruiting and giving pathways to, I wouldn't say underprivileged children, but people who haven't got that access. So I've really been involved, and that's just kept me involved because it's another chapter of my life. And I want to stay involved with cricket even when I stop playing. I'm still fit, touch wood. And while I'm fit, I'll keep training, I'll keep training hard and keep turning up.
Yeah, you're right about the training. It's not easy, is it?
No. I mean, you've got to put the training in. You can't just wake up and expect to be at a certain level. It's like anything. The more time you give to it, the better or the more reward you'll get from it.
And I think there's a message there from Tariq to all the youngsters out there, some budding cricketers. You've got to be fit, and you've got to put the effort in. It's this game of cricket. It's not. You can't just be a batsman anymore. You've got to be a batsman, bowler, and a fielder. All three facets of the game have to come in
comfortably. I mean, a lot of our Asian cricketers, very well talented, abundance of talent, but they always fall down on fitness. I mean, I do some City Cup work.
Yeah,
I have been for quite a few years, and
you have.
He ends up with virtually somebody getting a professional contract for a year at their local county. So we normally end up with 12, 13 players at Lords. We'll have 3-4 days there. Everything all paid for. There are professional coaches there. First day when it's the fitness, the Asians, you might get the odd one who's exceptional, but generally, they're the bottom half of the table. And then you come into day 2 and 3 when they're doing the batting skills and the bowling skills, and they're way above everybody else. But if you're not fit and you're not passing the fitness regimes, then no matter how talented you are, no one's going to look at you.
Yeah, we've. I was talking to some youngsters just recently. I don't want to mention clubs, but one of the young lads, performing really well with the bat, just can't get around the field. I mean, he'll score 30 with the bat and let 40 in the field. And, sometimes it's a harsh conversation to have, to say that, you got to get fit and you got to, maybe lose a bit of weight or watch your diet. And people from the South Asian community, they don't want to hear that, do they?
They don't, because obviously our diets are generally rich anyway, and it takes some serious willpower to try and keep away from the comfort food, so to speak. But
You're right.
If you do want to be a professional cricketer or even play at a decent level, fitness is going to be important. And a lot of the work we do now at the early stages for the City Cup trials, we do a lot of fitness work.
You do, and there was one youngster from my area who got to the last few, didn't he? Rahul.
Yes.
Rahul Kaushal. He's also a very young, talented young man, but he's a super fit lad as well, isn't he?
Fit, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so close. He was very unlucky not to get a contract. Very, very unlucky. But what people don't realise is no matter what level you are at, when you start stepping up, it's a next level, and it's a next level, and it's a next level. I mean, to say you want to be a professional cricketer, it's not easy. It's okay playing league cricket or even a decent level cricket, but actually being a professional cricketer, it's a completely different kettle of fish. You've really got to be switched on, fit, focused, know your goals, be able to give up a lot, sacrifice, absolutely shed loads of hours a day. That's just the start.
Absolutely, Tariq. And Tariq, any youngsters that you've seen on your travels that you have caught your eye?
There's a lot of budding youngsters, but what we find is, they're all keen, they all get involved, and as they're going through the age groups, they're really good, and they're improving, and they get to a certain level, change of schools, secondary schools, going on to colleges or universities, and then all of a sudden, their lifestyle changes a little bit, the training regimes drop, or they think, they've already achieved what they're going to achieve, so they don't really make it and they fade out. But as youngsters, most cricketers have the talent, because that's what we develop as the coach. I'm there to develop this young talent, and most young cricketers you work with will have some sort of talent, but it's just about nurturing that talent and progressing that talent into how far they want to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to sort of go back to what we were talking about, your involvement with, with cricket at Wolverhampton. There's a lot of unsung heroes like yourself. There's a friend of mine from Derby, Naz Ali. He does exactly the kind of same work, and I think there's others throughout the UK who do that. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because I feel that there needs to be more involvement from the South Asian community.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you think there's probably 37 to 40% participation from Asian cricketers, but yet when we look at certain roles, other than playing, there's probably not that much involvement. Administration.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, taking on responsibility, it's a big thing. You've got to be fair. You've got to be honest.
Yeah.
You've got to give up a lot of time. I mean, a typical day for me or a week at Wolverhampton Cricket Club is attending selection, trying to sort the sides out, sorting any club issues, attending a committee meeting. These take, I work out on average, you give up anything, 5, 6, 7 hours a week comfortably. That's just to attend these things. That's before you even put the playing time in there. And you put the playing time in there, the training time in there, you're easily giving up 24, 25 hours a week.
Yeah. That's a lot of time, isn't it?
And that's a lot of time.
And you got to have a patient. If you're married, you got to have a patient wife.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Tariq, let's sort of move on now from cricket. We will come back to it because it's both of us love the sport. I mean, sometimes I do hate cricket because it's one of these games that you just can't get out your blood, can you? It's so difficult. But we've got about just over 3 minutes to go before the break, and I want to congratulate Chelsea and Man City. Oh, yes. I'm not a fan of any of them. I'm a Liverpool fan. You're a Wolves fan, aren't you?
I am a Wolves fan, yes.
Yeah. Want to congratulate Man City and Chelsea for a couple of wonderful wins, and they're in the European Cup final.
Final, yeah.
It should be a good final. I think I'm going for Chelsea because my youngest lad's a Chelsea fan. Any ideas who you're supporting?
I'd probably fancy Man City, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think Man City are probably the best club in Europe at the moment, but I can't go against my little lad. Yeah, I've got it. But Tariq, just recently, the Super League. I'm one of these guys who sometimes I'm for it and sometimes I'm against it, but I just feel that it will come back up again, and I believe that. On a selfish factor, being a Liverpool fan, I believe that there should have been a Super League. What are your thoughts?
No, I totally disagree, I'm afraid. I think it was just greed. The amount of money that's going through these clubs is rather billions as it is, and just to try and get more money. I understand that the big businesses are there to make more money, but the average fan would have suffered. It would have cost you more to watch them. It would have cost you more to travel to games when we are eventually allowed. It would have cost you more for kits. And it's an expensive game already, especially for youngsters. And as a parent, if you've got young kids and they're supporting one of these teams, it's costing you an arm and a leg just to keep up with everything that they're doing. So for me, it's a big no-no.
The thing is touching on that, football players they get paid too much anyway. That's what so does it make any difference if they have a Super League? Because they get paid silly money anyway, don't they?
They'll continue to get paid silly money. That won't change. But what will change is what it costs the fan to go to a match. How much it's going to cost to travel and to watch them halfway around Europe. The fans will just, unless you've got access to a TV and you're paying to watch it on TV, where would you watch these guys? It would just cost you more and more and more. And it's, like I said, it's expensive enough as it is.
Yeah, but I think, knowing the way things are, Europe would probably do deals where they support these clubs. Do you not think so?
They would, but it's all about making the big bucks, isn't it? Once they're separated, I think it'd be very difficult for them to ever come back. You just got to look what happened at Manchester United last week against Liverpool.
That was amazing.
These fans are so passionate. They understand how difficult it would be for them, and they don't want it to happen. And disappointed that the game never went on and they actually ended up in the stadium, but that's how strongly they feel about it.
We've got a minute before we go to the break. We've had a few texts from Tariq's fans, not mine, but the text number is 07440 420 432, and the phone number for the studio, if anybody wants to call in and get involved, is 01902 972 150. Let me just repeat those numbers again before we go on break. WhatsApp or text 07440 420 432, and the studio number is 01902 972 150. We're just going to go into a break and we'll come back and we'll carry on talking to Tariq. Assalamu alaikum.